this app is very simple. You just need to enter your name. Suppose if your name is Ram, and enter your message like hi. You can write like nice UI. So if you send it, then in the down you are able to see your message and also all other messages. So that's it. It is very simple chart application. So I was inspired by apps we use every day like YouTube, Zomato, Amazon, Uber, Ola, and Book My Show. I thought, why not build something useful with the knowledge I have gained? So I created this basic application. There's still a long way to go. Features like I should have proper login, the dashboard should be there, user accounts should be there or it to be added. And yeah, so it's actually good starting point. It's just a beginning. And so for this, I want to just explain the complete environment setup. So in future I'll also walk through like how I build this project step by step, and how maybe good content on tech stacks and tools. But in this video, let's just go through a basic intro. So for this, so actually I have used for the social chart of any application, we need a front end, and then we need a backend, and we need a database, and we need a cloud. So you can use cloud application, you can use on premise. It's no need in these days. You can use AWS cloud or any such thing. And along with cloud, you need a DevOps knowledge that comes along with while you're doing the things. So front end, I use the Angular. So to learn Angular framework, you need first you should have prerequisite as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and you can learn Angular. And backend I used Spring Boot. For Spring Boot, I have already made some videos on Spring Boot. You can watch my videos. You need to learn first code Java and little bit about advanced Java and Spring Boot basics and all. So there's so many things are revolves around Spring Boot, because Spring Boot is just like top of it. It comes from, if you keep learning on Java, J2E, and things you need to learn like so many things on the way. Like you should learn Hibernate and database JDBC. So JDBC, Hibernate, what is like the current uh, market relevant, you can learn like Hibernate is good. And then you need to learn suppose Tomcat servers. So Spring Boot have inbuilt Tomcat servers, but it's better to learn Tomcat. WebLogic servers, like your choice. So and then you need to learn like APIs like REST APIs. So OP APIs are not required, this is REST APIs are enough. So you need to learn about what is the REST APIs, how we can we build REST APIs. And Spring Boot itself like so many concepts, MVC, what is that, all those things. And database, I'm using a SQL database like Postgres. So you can use depends on your use case. And cloud, basically it's better to use AWS. I use AWS EC2 instance. Like I can show, you need to first set up the AWS account, and you need to you need to launch your EC2 instances. And simply like there's a process you need to do that. But in this video I'm not AWS EC2, because we have free tier that is okay. But I want to host it like all the time. So I'm looking for others services which I give me like free usage of. So I'll show you that apps that are very easy and straightforward, that is okay for you at initial. If you want a basic setup, then that is good. Cloud and DevOps like comes with, you should be good at GitHub. And I used build tool Maven, and I use. So these are the basic things you should learn, and then you can go for if you need like Docker, Kubernetes. So depends on the scale of your project. If you need using microservices, you need to have so many features. Jenkins is good, like that. It depends. Terraform, anything. DevOps is a good choice always. If you if you build something, however you need to deploy, so it's better to learn DevOps along with the development. Yeah, there like there's so many thing roles or in IT field, but these things are like very important. So if you learn this, I think you will be a complete end-to-end engineer. So let's now check the tools or frameworks. So first, so this is the front end. So the front end Angular, there's the steps. You need to first install Node.js, and then Node versions and npm. You need to install Angular CLI. So the setup, it's very easy. You can do it, and then you need to. I'm using a Visual Code Studio for the IDE. I chosen this as a Visual Code Studio, and yeah, this is a basic setup of the Angular front end framework. Then it's like this, all these things will start from actually this index.html, and is connected to your app components. So yeah, if you start Angular, then you can slowly learn. So this is the main thing here, app API URL. So like this is like I'm already deployed and I'm using that endpoint. At initial, you need to do the local setup. So why? Because when it comes to like working in real companies, right, everything starts with the software development lifecycle, SDLC. It becomes like first requirement gathering. Like requirement gathering, I always suggest you first always go through like a documentation. Suppose I just tried some documentation, it's always good. Like yeah, this is my app link at the top. So first just write down what you want to do, and then write down like how you gonna do set up tech stack, how you are choosing the tech stack, like even small steps, how you are doing, and like even very little things. So I just went like first, it's like first you need to open Spring Initializer. I need to install first Spring Boot. That's their backend. I use the Spring Boot application, and for this you need to install first Java JDK, and then check whether Java version, which version you're using, 17 or something. Or then the social app, this very simple application. There's no much APIs. So you'll have repository, control, entities, all these things. So it's a very simple API. Will develop more on these APIs. And yeah, you can face so many challenges while you deploy in production, that whether like with whether the front end is properly communicated with the back end or not. Through inspect you can find it. So database, I use the Postgres. Here you can see need to install this Postgres also. Then under you need to create that database, and you should go, you can check on the tables, the data and everything. So and then it's good to have a Postman is like it's like checking the endpoints. It's always good. You need to check the endpoints whether it's working or not. We will have different get, post, put, all options. You'll slowly learn how status, how it works, everything. After that, so that's what the applications mean. Like you should have Spring Boot. Here the Spring Boot I'm using IntelliJ IDE, or you can use Eclipse also. Spring Boot as backend, and Postgres SQL, and Angular framework front end. And always start by preparation, like I said, documentation. If you go back that something I did documentation, like yeah, you need to have Spring Ledger. You need to good at Maven dependencies, which Maven dependency you need. In future we'll keep add exceptions and all things, write test cases, and check the queries you want to add. Suppose uh, it's like you can add directly in the Postman itself, or you want to add some message, you can go there and add that. So this how you should learn SQL queries also. Then yeah, then it comes like deployment. I'm instead of AWS CC2, I'm just going for railway app. This is like backend, I'm using railway app that I will show you here. So once you open this, you can create the account. Then you can simply know your first, you need to push your codes into your GitHub. That's how like before into like you need to good at GitHub commands. You need to push your code into GitHub. So you can check my GitHub code. This all this source code. This how even real companies like it's like you need to first get all the existing source codes, and then so this is like source code for backend, and also like in the repositories you can find it. This is a front end code and it's a back end code. So if you open back end code, this code you can connect directly, and so there's a steps for deployment. But here in the when you use this uh, railway app hosting application, it's very simple. You need to connect, you need to set up environment, jdk, and some commands. And here like you can check the deployment is successful, you can check the deployment logs. And also you should keep running on like some production, then only like it will be live and others people can access your website. You need to check. I will share this in this link. So you need to open this link and you can use this application. And this for backend. And for the database I used neon. This is where like you can have your database. So suppose you've been running like messages, whatever I entered messages, right? This how like you can appreciate the real world projects. They have their own database, all the things with them. Whenever you we enter some data, anything you will have in the database. It's like a postgres, it's PostgreSQL only. And then for the front end I used this Vercel. So again it's same, you need to just install it and you need to deploy from your GitHub. And yeah, like this front end back end database, three things I deployed in three applications which are free tiers. And then it's good if you use ChatGPT for understanding how to, because it saves your developer time. And yeah, like few people will say the developer jobs will be no more. It's not like that. Will it's not just require, it depends on requirements and challenges. So many things will be there, so the jobs will be there. And as documentation you can see, then your front end how I deployed, and back end and endpoints, like well, step by step one you need to document. That's always good to have. Then all the links you need to check cross origin. That's after deployment you need to check. You can check these things by suppose this local host this I done by at a backend. Suppose whenever you are adding some message like it's like Raj and uh, this message is this is good. When you're sending some message, you can check in the network, you can click on send, then you can see the messages here whether the status is 200 and it's like hitting that API or not. So request URL it's hitting that. So you can first you need to check in the local, then so you can deploy it. So after deployment it's like these apps have automatic CI/CD. Whenever you push your code, it automatically deploy to here in the in this codes, uh, back end front end these things. And yeah, this how like once you app runs locally, then you can move to deployment. So as I say, I was this app using Vercel, Railway, and Neon, all of them which offer like great free tier options. In companies also you will see like multiple environments like developer, UATs, SAT, and prod with each specific purpose and teams. So it's better to learn DevOps tools also like Docker, Kubernetes, CI/CD pipelines. And yeah, like software development is nothing but like building useful applications. So keep building, work in a teams, collaborate on GitHub. Understand it's not like one person can build the whole application. So the tech stack really doesn't matter, you can pick up anything. It's good to have these tech stacks. And yeah, and also in future will be have will I will do like more things. It's also good to learn, like if you just learning stuffs alone, it will no useful. When you're learning microservices or any industry practice, it's good to start your own project like DSA or LLD or solid principles, or third party integration will be there, Google Maps, Razorpay, or anything. The amazing part is like all these things are like open source. You should have good laptop and good internet and good some knowledge or experience you can learn from courses. So this is what like is enough. So you can like what I feel like anyone anywhere in the world can build anything, something useful and meaningful for the society. and that's the true role of the engineer. So yeah, that's how we shape the digital world around us. So yeah, this is about like brief about my projects. So I'm ready for collaboration as well. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and open this app and try it out. Send a message and share it to your friends. Let's keep building and growing together.